I actually did this already, but my whole file, after I recorded the 12 to 15 minute thing, had no sound. So, high five, computer. Thank you for that. So, I'm doing this again. So, basically, this is going to be a review of the highly acclaimed Kim's Convenience. I have a ticket of that. If you can see that. Fantastic. So a quick review before we get into the details. It's a great play. It's a really good play. All the actors did a fantastic job. Director was fantastic, and it was really good. Unlike Seagull, Seagull was. Let's not talk about the Seagull. Now, getting into Kim's Convenience, I'd say one of the big things again about this would be the actors. And to say that they really carried it would be an injustice, but the main actors were a huge presence in the whole deal. Sorry, I just had froyo. So the main actor, I'd say, was Paul Sang-san Huang Lee, who played Appa, and he's usually there. He's there throughout the whole play, and he did an amazing job. He had the whole accent down, and it was really authentic, and many times you couldn't really understand what he was saying, which after again he explained to us, and it made sense. He explained that it had to be a little hard to understand because that's what made the whole experience more genuine, and it made you really listen for what he was saying. And that's how many people who have emigrated to Canada, many of them, that's how they speak, and that made the whole experience more real. And yeah, Paul Sun Hung Lei just did a really good job. Then there's many scenes where it's not just his accent that really pulled the character together. It was just his acting ability is amazing. There are many scenes where his acting really gives you goosebumps, and it's very heartfelt. It's a very heartfelt performance, and again, he was talking about how there's a scene where Jung comes back, and he was almost crying in that scene, and you can see that emotion in the character, and it makes you feel like this is an actual thing, and that's what he did so well, especially that scene where again his son comes back after a very long time, and he's just so torn by that, and the look on his face, it shows guilt and happiness and just wonder at the same time, and it's an amazing thing. Moving on to another actor who did a really good job would be Ins Choi, the main actor, Jung, who's the second most important actor in the play, I'd say, and he's also the playwright, so I guess he understands the script more than most people, and he did a very interesting kind of job. It's his character was very it wasn't a big character. Like Appa's character had a huge presence whenever he was in the scene. Even when he was walking off the scene, you felt his presence and his voice just booming. But Jung was a very normal character, and that's what made the character, I feel, a better character, and it worked really well because it made it more normal, and you could relate to the character, and it made the play, again, more realistic and genuine, and all the emotions were real because he was such a normal character in between all these other characters which are huge, especially Appa and his sister Jeanette and the police officer and all that. And and he did it very well. He underplayed it, and it worked in this case. It was a really his character was a really awkward kind of guy. And hold on, let me just check if it is recording, because I don't want to do it for the third time. It is recording. So yeah, it was a very really, really good performance by Ins Choi. You should be proud. Should be proud. I'd say the best scene that really showed how he was. It was the scene where he was talking to his mother. They sang first, and they sang a little, and then they just talked about life and how it was and how it is now. And again, he did really well in showing his emotions, and in his just this very, very subtle awkwardness that his character had worked really well in the scenes which he was in. Next, I would like to talk about the director, Wayne Mengesha. And I'd say Wayne did a really good job in the fact that the acting, not only was it throughout the play was it very realistic, but she directed it in such a way, Kim's Convenience, in such a way that the not only is the acting, well, the very heartfelt scenes and the very deep scenes are very prominent, but the more comic relief scenes were also very well done, and they overacted a little bit there, and that's exactly what the play needed. And it's just a perfect blend of really good, heartfelt, realistic acting when you need it, and a little bit of overacting when you need it for comic relief. And she did that really well. And I think it worked. Everything worked really well. It just fit together. And again, playwright by Ins Choi, and he did a fantastic job. Honestly, all the lines are very real. They feel very, very real. And coming from an immigrant background, I guess I can relate to it a lot more than some people. But it felt that's really like it's really how it is. Like the parents, they come here and they really work really hard for their children so that they can have a better future. And it really showed, and they went over that. There was this whole scene where they talk about it, and it felt very, very real. Then the next thing that was really great was the set design. It was fantastic, as Jeremy was saying, that are those chips and Pepsi or whatever, are they real? Even though they weren't, they looked very real. And the whole convenience store, it looked like a real convenience store, and with the aisles and the whole thing, the cameras and the bars on the windows, and it felt really real. And the costumes, again, it's not such a big part of the play. Could be costumes, not really, but the costumes worked well where they needed to. For example, Jung's character is a character who hasn't had the best of luck, and his financial situation is not the best. And that's really reflective of the kind of clothes he wears. And it looks very worn, and that's the kind of the clothes make him look tired, and that's how his character is and how it's supposed to be, and it's perfect. I think that's a really important costume thing in the whole thing, and it really shows. And also the mom, she also had a really good costume, showing that's the kind of costume how how like immigrants would wear, and especially from Korea, and it was really well done. The costume by Ken McKenzie, set in costume by Ken McKenzie, really, really well done. I don't know what else to talk about. It was just everything, the whole script fit together. All the scenes were well placed. Nothing felt awkward or clunky or out of place. Everything was very smooth, and there wasn't any place where you felt like the scene got awkward or too long-winded. It was just perfect scenes, and they were long when they needed to be, they were shorter when they needed to be, and it was just perfectly done. The lighting again, lighting by Lorenzo Savoini, was really well done, because it wasn't that amazing, over the top, really expensive lighting or anything. It was very simple lighting, and there was just this part where, again, when Jung is meeting with his mom, and they talk about all their life, and it's all dark, and it's just spotlights on Jung and his mom, and that was really well done. It made us more focused on those characters and what they were saying, and not getting distracted by the set, which happened a few times when some of the scenes, if they were a little longer than the normal ones, you might get a little distracted by the amazing set. And those spotlights, really what they did is really make us focused on those characters and what they were saying, and it's a really important thing. Yeah, that's about it. That's my review of Kim's Convenience. Went to watch it on the 19th of March, 2014, and it was a great experience. Thank you, Miss A, my drama teacher.